Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Last week, in the episode of Pokémon DataDex, we covered Kabutops, one of the fossil Pokémon from the Kanto region, and I asked you guys to vote on the two fossil Pokémon from the Hone region, Armaldo and Cradley, and the one that came out on top overall was Armaldo. It was a fairly close vote, so it's pretty good, but we're covering Armaldo this week. In next week's episode, I'm going to be covering one of the fossil Pokemon from the Sinnoh region, so tell me now whether you want me to show Bastiodon, or whether you want me to show you all Rampardos. The one that gets the most votes down in the comment section below, I will be covering next week, so be sure to put Rampardos or Bastiodon down in the comment section right now. But guys, for the moment we're going to be covering Armaldo, so let's get on with it. Armaldo is the plate Pokemon, is a rock bug type, and is number 348 in the National Pokédex. It stands at 4 foot 11 inches tall, or 1.5 meters tall, and weighs 150.4 pounds, or 68.2 kilograms. It's in the water-free egg group for breeding, and is primarily a male, being a male 87.5% of the time, as opposed to being a female 12.5% of the time. Evolution chain wise, Anorith, which is the one that's revived from the fossil, then evolves into Armaldo starting at level 40, so it's fairly high evolving, so you have to have a fair bit of training to get your Armaldo. Then, if we look at the base stats for Armaldo, you can see health points is 75, attack is 125, defense is 100, special attack is 70, special defense is 80, and speed is 45. So you can see it has two pretty damn high stats, attack and defense, but then the rest of the stats are fairly lacking, especially speed. Speed is very low at 45, and then health points, special attack, and special defense are pretty low as well. So really, Armaldo is only going to be a physical attacker or a physically defensive Pokemon. We're not going to be looking at a special attacking Armaldo at all, guys. That would be crazy, but yeah, mainly physical attacking or physically defensive guys for Armaldo. So let's first look at Armaldo's typing. So, being a rock bug type, Armaldo has two resistances, just normal and poison, and has three weaknesses, being water, rock, and steel. The rest of the types do neutral damage to it, so there's a lot of cancelling types. For example, grass does neutral to it. Grass is super effective against rock, but it's resistant, or bug resists it, so it cancels out there. Fire was also cancelled out with rock and bug, so is fighting, flying, and ground. Bug does neutral to all of them, so that's alright, and same with Ghost, Electric, Psychic, Ice, Dark, Dragon, and Fairy. So they actually get 5 types that cancel out thanks to its typing. I wouldn't say Armaldo has a bad typing, but it's not brilliant because it's only got 2 resistances. I would rather have a Pokemon with 5 resistances and 5 weaknesses than a Pokemon with 2 resistances and 3 weaknesses, because at least then you have more you can take, sort of thing, guys. All these moves here, all these types, are going to be doing neutral damage to Armaldo, so it's not going to have the chance to switch in on as many moves, if you guys get what I mean when I say that there. Then if we look at Armaldo's abilities, it has one basic ability and one hidden ability. Basic ability is Battle Armor, which protects it from critical hits, which is okay. Then again, guys, you have to think about the fact that majority of the time in games, critical hits are all down to luck. So its Battle Armor is going to be only useful in the situations where a critical hit comes up. Whereas its hidden ability, Swift Swim, boosts its speed, its stat in rain, or doubles it, more like. Which is good, especially if the rain's up. If rain's not up, it's not going to help at all. But the thing to look at here, Swift Swim. If you're running a rain team, Swift Swim is going to be helpful, like all the time, sort of thing. Especially if the rain's up, it's going to be helpful all the time. Whereas Battle Armor is only going to be helpful in certain situations where the critical hit might come across. Also, if you don't really mind, like say you lose a battle because of crit, if you don't mind that, you may as well run Swift Swim. Because, you know, obviously you'll still lose the battle, but if you guys don't mind dying to critical hits, then of course you could run Swift Swim there. Then if we take a look at the highlighted moves for Armaldo, we have 2 level up ones, 3 TMs, 3 eggs, and 2 transfers, so a nice big round sort of range today. Starting off at level 55, it learns Rock Blast, which is a powerful rock type move, hits 2 to 5 times. It's not brilliant, because sometimes it will just hit 2 times and that's not good at all, it won't do much damage, but sometimes you can get hit 5 times, which is pretty darn powerful. Then level 73, it learns X-Scissor, which is another stab for it, a bug type stab. X-Scissor is a pretty powerful move as well, so that can do some decent damage against dark types, psychic types, stuff like that. Then we have TM26 Earthquake. This is going to be very good for Armaldo to have because it covers 2 of its weaknesses. As we saw, guys, it's weak to rock and steel, and Earthquake hits both of those for super effective damage. So Earthquake is definitely something to think about running on your Armaldo. Obviously Earthquake is also very helpful against loads of other types too, so that's pretty darn good. Then TM71, it can learn Stone Edge. This is its second rock stab. Really, generally the choice, I'm going to say this for all the sets, the choice between Rock Blast or Stone Edge. If you want consistency, go for Rock Blast. If you want power, go for Stone Edge. Obviously Rock Blast isn't brilliant for consistency because it can only hit 2 to 5 times sort of thing. So it can hit 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. It's not consistent at all. Well, it's consistent, it's just not very good. Whereas Stone Edge can miss, plus it has low BP. So really you want to look at which set you're using, what you want to use the playstyle as for that. Then TM75 it can learn Sword Stats, which is going to boost your attack by 2 stages when used, so that's very helpful, especially for Armaldo, since it is a physical attacker. Then onto the 3 egg moves. First up we have Aqua Jet, which is going to give you your priority. And that's very good, because as we saw just now, Armaldo has a very low speed stat. So learning Aqua Jet or having Aqua Jet on the set could be very, very nice, because Aqua Jet will then give you a priority move. So in situations, if you have Aqua Jet on your set, in situations where you might have lost a battle because you're too slow to actually finish the Pokemon off, you can use your Aqua Jet there and take them out and finish them off sort of thing, which is very good indeed. Second egg move we have here is Cross Poison. I've included this because of Fairy types, so I thought you could have some Fairy type coverage if you want. It's not needed for Armaldo because it's not weak to Fairy particularly, but you could have it as another option to cover Fairy types in your team. Then the final egg move here is Rapid Spin. So yes, Armaldo again, another fossil Pokemon that gets Rapid Spin. We had Kabutops last week that learns it, and Armaldo gets it too. So as we saw at the start, we can use Armaldo both as a physical attacker or more physically defensive. So physically defensive, Rapid Spin is definitely a good choice to have on the set there. Physically attacking, it's an alright choice, but mainly physically attacking you're looking for the power rather than Rapid Spin. But you could include it for the option, the one every now and again chance when an opportunity to get rid of hazards comes up with Armaldo, and you might want to use Rapid Spin. So it might be helpful in some cases, but mainly for physically defensive sets. Then the 2 transfer moves. First we have Aqua Tail, so another water type move. It's an alternative to Aqua Jet. No priority there for you, but it is more powerful, but it doesn't have 100% accuracy, so you have to weigh out those options, guys. The power is there, however, in this case, so you might want to sort of weigh it up and see. The next transfer move and the final move for the highlighted moveset is Stealth Rock, which obviously is going to allow you to set up rocks on the opposing Pokemon, and is generally going to be working well on a physically defensive set because you can use Rapid Spin to get rid of their hazards, and you can use Stealth Rock to give them some of their own, so that's pretty good. One thing to note, sort of bringing Armaldo in to use Rapid Spin, is it is weak to Rock, so it is going to take some hefty damage from Stealth Rocks, which is a thing to watch out for, guys, unfortunately. But that's it for the highlighted movesets, so let's move on to the Wi-Fi battling setups. Okay, so this first Wi-Fi setup we're going to look at is a Choice Band set, then we're going to move on to looking at a physically defensive set, and finally we have a Life Orb set right at the end. So, first up we are going to be having the moveset for this Choice Band set is going to be X-Scissor, then we have Rock Blast or Stone Edge, Earthquake, and then finally Aqua Jet, Aqua Tail or Cross Poison. Ability in this case is Battle Armor or Swift Swim, I'll talk more about that in a second. Nature here is Adamant, held item is a Choice Band, and the EV is going to get maximum attack, not the rest of health points, 212 in health points, and then 44 in speed. Again, I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. So first up the moveset, X-Scissor is your bug type stat, that's going to cover dark types, psychic types, grass types, a fair few types there. Then we have Rock Blast or Stone Edge, your secondary stab. As usual guys, the choice here is consistency or power, it's up to you. Then we have Earthquake, which is again good cover against steel types, rock types because those are your 2 weaknesses, or 2 of your weaknesses. And then finally we have Aqua Jet, Aqua Tail or Cross Poison, okay? If you want some priority there for the exam for once in a while, Aqua Jet is a good choice. If you want the power with water type moves, which would cover some types for you, you can have Aqua Tail. If you want some coverage for fairy types, and obviously some other types too, you can have Cross Poison there. It's really up to you what you choose there. Ability wise, we have Battle Armor or Swift Swim. Okay, first up, if you're using this on a rain team, Swift Swim is definitely the way to go. If you don't really mind about losing to a critical hit, you can give Swift Swim as well, but if you want, you can give Battle Armor. Again, it's your choice, it's up to you how you want to play this set. If it's on a rain team, definitely Swift Swim, but if it's not, you can choose between Battle Armor or Swift Swim. Battle Armor is going to be helpful in the situations that you'll get hit with, or you're hit with a possible crit. Swift Swim is helpful in the situations where maybe the enemy is using rain, who knows. Then the nature is Adamant because we don't want to try and boost up the speed with Dueling Nature because that would be a waste, so may as well go for all out power, especially if we're using Aqua Jet guys because you've always got some priority there. Held item Choice Band, don't really say much about that since it's a Choice Band set. And the EV is going maximum attack so we can have all the power and attack we can. Then 212 in health points just to put the extra 44 in speed to give you a little bit more speed there. Even though you're not that faster, at least you can outspeed the really slow ones if you guys get what I mean there. So, how to use this set? Well, it's a basic choice band set, guys. I really don't need to explain these sets very much, because it's a case of going in, using the move that you either is super effective against or will do damage against the opposing Pokemon, or if you can predict a switch, trying to use one to deal with that. Obviously, if they're on low health and you've got Aqua Jet, you might as well go for the Aqua Jet to try and get that off there, but obviously you might want to go for something else. Depends whether you want to try and take them out before they get the chance to take you out. It depends on the opponent, depends on what they got left on their team, depends on what situation you're in, everything like that, guys. So it's really situational based. I can't really explain how to use the choice band set. It's basically just go in and use an attack. That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much how. One other thing I'm going to know, if you're using, if it's on a rain team, you're using Swift Swim, don't bother with Aqua Jet, you might as well go for Aqua Tail, because that's going to give you the more power, and obviously you have better speed anyway. So let's move on to the second set for Armaldo here, which is going to be a physically defensive step. So the moves are Rapid Spin, Rock Blast, Stealth Rock, and then Earthquake or X Scissor. Ability is Battle Armor, Nature is Impish, held items are leftovers, and the E's are maximum health points, maximum defense, and the rest in special defense. So Rapid Spin, obviously on your moveset, is going to help you clear some hazards, as I said earlier, so that's definitely a good move to have on your physically defensive set. Rock Blast is for consistency, especially if we're being defensive, guys. You don't want to run out of PP on Stone Edge, so definitely Rock Blast is a better choice there. Stealth Rock is so you guys can use Stealth Rock and set of rocks and then get, hopefully hazards down there. Hopefully they'll leave it there, and very good against some Pokemon in particular. And final choice of Earthquake or X Scissor. Now Earthquake is going to coverage against your rock types and steel types, which is very good indeed. X Scissor is going to allow you to have a stab, but it's not going to be super effective against the more useful types, if you get what I mean. I'd recommend Earthquake here, but I've included X Scissor because you could include it for the stab. Ability here is definitely Battle Armor, because we're not really going for speed at all. Plus, obviously being physically defensive, you don't really want to be taking crits if you can help it. Nature is Impish because it's going to boost your physical defense and it's going to lower your special attack, so it's going to allow you to be very bulky. This thing is not very special defensive at all, so you might not want to touch it at all, guys. You might want to go for the physical attackers. If a special attack comes in, you might want to think about switching out, sort of thing. Held item here is a Leftovers, just because that's going to give you some health restoration, otherwise you have no health restoration here, so Leftovers is definitely a good choice. And the EVs are maximum health points and maximum defense, just so you're going to be able to bulk up your physical defense and stuff like that, and the rest in special defense, just to give you a tiny bit of special bulk. It might save you in one or two situations, but really it's not going to be too much of a thing. But how to use this physically defensive set: basically, come in, use a Rapid Spin if you need to. You could use it as a lead, I guess, it's possible. You could set up Stealth Rocks with it, Rapid Spin definitely, and then, you might not want to stay in until you die. You might want to switch out, because definitely if there are hazards that are stood around, you could always switch back in later on and use Rapid Spin again, guys. So certainly a thing to think about there, but you might not want to just sack off Armaldo right at the start. But you still have Rock Blast and Earthquake or X Scissor to do some decent damage anyway once you've set up your rocks and use your Rapid Spin. So let's move on to the last set for Armaldo, which I said it's a Life Orb set, which can be combined with a Rain Team set, and also Sword Dance. So first up we have moveset Sword Dance, then we have Rock Blast or Stone Edge, Aqua Tail, and finally Rapid Spin or X Scissor. Ability here is Battle Armor or Swift Swim, as I said. I just put Battle Armor here because it's the primary one. Nature is Adamant, and the held item is a Life Orb. EVs are going maximum attack, maximum speed, and the rest in defense. So, first up moveset, Sword Dance, so you can try and get that +2 attack and do some decent damage there. Then we have Rock Blast or Stone Edge, again, consistency versus power, up to you. Aqua Tail's next up, so that's going to give you a coverage move. You could also put Earthquake there, guys, if you want to. I've just got Aqua Tail there in case you're using it on a rain team, because that's going to get powered up a lot. And then we finally have Rapid Spin or X Scissor. Rapid Spin can be used if you want to, in the rare chance that you might want to actually get rid of the hazards, but X Scissor is probably a better choice there. You could also put Cross Poison as another option there, guys. There's so many options for you to be able to do. Ability is Battle Armor, because that's going to allow you to take critical hits. As I said though, if it's on a rain team, use Swift Swim, please. Nature is Adamant, because we want the power rather than the speed, because the speed is low. Held item is a Life Orb to increase that power even more. And the EVs are going maximum attack and speed. We have maximum speed this time, just to try and get you as fast as possible, especially if it's a rain team. That's going to be very, very nice indeed, and the rest in defense, just because, why not? If you want to use this more as a defensive set, so instead of having maximum attack and speed, you could have maximum health points, maximum defense, rest in attack sort of thing. So you'd be more defensive, but you can still Sword Dance and use attacks like that. You can mix around the EV spread, guys, and see what works best for you here, but I've just put the basic attack and speed run up there. But how would you use this set? Well, you'd hopefully be able to try and force a switch. If you switched in on maybe a, let's say a Charizard maybe, I don't know, they are most likely going to switch out fearing a Rock Blast or a Stone Edge, so you can hopefully go for a Sword Stance then. You could also run Aqua Jet on this set rather than Aqua Tail or one of the other moves, and that might be able to, an Aqua Jet with Sword Stance might be able to do some decent damage for you, who knows. So who knows. Hopefully set up a Sword Stance by forcing a switch out, and then use whichever, hopefully, obviously it's on a rain team, you're going to have the speed advantage hopefully. If it's not, you're going to have to try and be able to take an attack and then go for it. Go back with the Aqua Jet or something like that. So really, it's up to you guys. It's situation based as usual, so yeah, really again, it's up to you. But guys, that's really how to use Armaldo. There's the 3 sets I've got there. As I reminded you at the start, guys, please let me know which one you want me to cover next week out of Bastiodon or Rampardos. The one that gets most votes in the comment section below, I will be covering in the next episode of the Pokemon DataDex. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like below on the video and check out all the other awesome content on Lumiose. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be seeing you next time. Goodbye, my friends.